There's a massive business war brewing right now in Silicon Valley. It's a war that could literally render one of these giants completely irrelevant, and it's all being fought over the future of transportation itself. This is the story of Tesla versus Uber.
It all kind of kicked off with a classic Elon Musk promise back in 2019. He got up on stage and declared that a fleet of 1 million Tesla Robotaxis was just a year away. The vision was incredible, right? Your car would become an asset, actually earning you money while you sleep. The hype was just astronomical.
But what actually happened after that promise was, well, a pretty brutal reality check. Instead of some driverless utopia, what we all saw were years of missed deadlines, some really high-profile crashes involving Tesla's autopilot system, and just a mountain of lawsuits claiming the company was totally misleading its customers. Okay, so let's really dive into this, because this isn't just about a new gadget or a new product. This is a full-on war for an entire industry, and the economic stakes, they're almost unbelievably high. To understand the battlefield, we have to start with this number. Right now, if you take an Uber in the United States, it costs you, on average, about $2.50 per mile. That's the baseline, okay? Remember that number. Now, let's break down where that money actually goes. As you can see, a staggering 75% of your fare goes directly into the pocket of the human driver. Uber only keeps about a quarter of it. And this reliance on human drivers, well, it's the core of Uber's business, but it's also its greatest weakness. And this slide is exactly why. Tesla claims that once its Robotaxi network is running at scale, it can drop the cost per mile to just 25 cents. Now look, that's not a small improvement. That is a tenfold price collapse. That's what you'd call an extinction-level event for any company that needs a human in the driver's seat. And this really illustrates the massive domino effect. For ride-hailing companies, it's a disaster, for sure. But for traditional car companies like Ford and GM, it could be even worse. Their entire business model depends on you buying a car that sits in your driveway 95% of the time. If one Robotaxi can do the work of 10 private cars, global sales could absolutely plummet. I mean, in that world, why would you even need to buy a car again? So how in the world is Tesla planning to pull off this incredible disruption? Well, it all comes down to a really radical, all-or-nothing bet on a completely different kind of technology. So for years, pretty much everyone else, we're talking Google's Waymo, GM's Cruise, they're all pursuing what's called restricted autonomy. They loaded up their cars with these superhuman sensors, LiDAR, radar, you name it. The big problem? That sensor suite alone costs 75 grand per car. Tesla's approach, what they call general autonomy, is radically simpler. It's just cameras and a powerful AI brain, a system that costs a tiny, tiny fraction of the alternative. The best way to think about this is like ChatGPT, but for driving. Nobody sat down and taught ChatGPT all the rules of grammar. It just read billions of sentences from the internet and learned the patterns on its own. Well, Tesla is doing the exact same thing. It's not programming a car with millions of if this then that rules. It's building an AI that just learns to drive by watching. The process itself is almost deceptively simple. Step 1, Tesla collects this absolute ocean of video data from its millions of cars already on the road. Step 2, it shows the AI a driving scenario, maybe like navigating a really tricky intersection. And then Step 3, it gives it a single, elegant command. Watch what the human did and copy it. That's it. No rules, no code, just observation and imitation on a massive scale. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. Tesla's revolutionary approach has a potentially fatal flaw, a vulnerability so significant that it could get the entire Robotaxi project banned before it even launches. It's called the black box problem. You see, because the AI learns on its own through pattern recognition, nobody, and I mean nobody, not even the brilliant engineers at Tesla, can point to a line of code and explain exactly why the car decided to swerve or brake in a specific moment. You just have to trust that the AI learned the right patterns. And regulators, they absolutely hate that kind of uncertainty. To really understand why this is so dangerous, just imagine this scenario with me. Let's say it's 2027. You're the mayor of New York City. At 6 p.m. on a Tuesday, a subtle glitch in the AI's neural network causes 200 Tesla Robotaxis to crash at the exact same time all across Manhattan. The result is, it's just catastrophic. 300 people are dead. Families are demanding justice. The media is in a total frenzy. And they all turn to you, the mayor, demanding to know what went wrong and how you're going to fix it. And the only honest answer that Tesla can give is, we have no idea. Because of the black box, they can't explain the glitch. And in politics, you cannot survive a disaster you can't explain. The public outcry would be so immense that the entire robotaxi fleet would be banned overnight. That is the black box risk. Now, Uber understands this weakness perfectly, and it has built its entire survival strategy around exploiting it by forming a really powerful alliance to counter Tesla. Uber's strategy is brilliant in its simplicity. They basically realized that the biggest risk is betting the entire company on a single self-driving technology. So they decided not to pick a horse in this race at all. Instead, they're building the racetrack, a platform where any and all driverless cars can compete. Their goal is to become the Amazon of autonomous vehicles, just taking a cut from every transaction, no matter which car company wins. And here's how they're pulling it off. Uber brings its millions of hours of real-world driving data to the table. They hand that treasure trove over to the AI chip giant Nvidia, which then uses that data to build a powerful self-driving superbrain. Then Nvidia gives that brain to traditional car makers, think Stellantis and BYD, who build the physical cars and put them on Uber's network. It's a decentralized counterweight to Tesla's go-it-alone model. So this all leaves us with two fundamentally different, totally competing visions for what our driverless future is going to look like. On one side, you have Tesla's future, a closed, vertically integrated system controlled entirely by one company. It's super high risk, but if it works, the reward is total market domination. On the other side is Uber's future, an open, collaborative ecosystem, a platform where dozens of car makers can compete and Uber simply takes a cut, no matter who's on top. But here's the real kicker. Regardless of which company comes out on top in this war, the fundamental change is coming. A future where human beings no longer drive their own cars is pretty much inevitable. It's a change so profound that our grandchildren will likely look back at us driving our own cars the same way we now look at people riding horses to get around. And that really leaves us with the most important question of all, doesn't it? This future is arriving much faster than most people think. But what kind of future is it going to be? Will it be one of incredible new opportunities and amazing efficiencies, or will it be one of mass joblessness for the millions of people who currently drive for a living? That's the question we're all going to have to answer. All right, that's all for this explainer on the war between Uber and Tesla. If you found this valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And for more deep dives into the business and technology that's shaping our world, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.